Hi guys, we're going to go ahead and do some notes on your sample size and bias. You're watching a couple of videos, and so I wanted you to watch the Frito-Lay video with the chips, one of my favorite ones, and the soup video about the sample sizes. So let's kind of talk about, it says make some notes here about that. So let's talk about the things I want you to have gotten from those videos. So first of all, when you watched the soup video and they were testing about the saltiness of the soup, they said that the sample size doesn't matter. Okay, so that's one thing that we want to make note about. So the sample size does not matter as long as it is representative of the population. Okay, so did you need a whole ladle full because it was a bigger pot of soup? No, but a toothpick is not enough, large enough sample to get a good representation of the saltiness of the soup. So, a spoonful is good or a sip. So the sample size doesn't matter. You don't have it. Now we're going to actually later in this class, next semester, in fact, talk about numerically what is considered a large enough sample size whenever we're taking a sample. Okay, but also, I guess that's also the same thing with the Lay's potato chips. So when they did that, they had 45,000 pounds of potatoes on that truckload, and they only had to sample 150 pounds because it was a representative sample for them to be able to tell that. So the sample size doesn't matter as long as it's representative of the population. All right. Now, next, we do want to kind of talk about some poor sampling methods. Okay, so first of all, before we get into the next video, let's talk about this. So in general, we're going to discuss how sampling methods that do not have randomization. So see, you can see right here, the standard that we have wants you to know that non-random sampling methods can potentially give you bias, okay? Because they do not use chance. So there could be some sort of pattern or some certain type of subjects that you have if you do not use randomness to get those subjects, okay? So, so again, what this kind of is saying is that sampling methods that do not use some type of randomness will be poor methods because they may have bias. Okay? All right. Next, now we're going to start kind of learning some names of some of the methods of sampling that are not good sampling methods. And a convenient sampling method is one of those. So convenient sampling method is this. It is a sampling, or it is a sample that is made up of subjects, okay, who are easy or that are easy to reach, okay? And because of that, they most likely will not represent the entire population. They will not represent the entire population, okay? So that's a problem. For example, if I go to the Brookshire's parking lot, and I'm going to be asking the people in the Brookshire's parking lot what's their favorite coffee place to get coffee. And so that is convenient and easy, and I may think that's random, and I may even say like I pick every 10th customer and do systematic. But yet that is close to a Starbucks. Okay, so it could be that I'm going to get a higher proportion of people who like Starbucks because it's close to that location. Okay, so you are systematically, you're leaving out or not, you could be leaving out a part of the population. So because of that, the type of bias that we frequently get is called undercoverage, because you do not necessarily have um, all types of the population. Okay, but I want you to watch the Literary Digest video. Very interesting. Talks about the 1936 election. So you need to remember in the U.S. history what's happening at that time. Okay, in the early 30s, we were just coming off of the Depression. Okay, so that affects, what people had, the type of people how people were living in that time frame. Okay, so watch that Literary Digest video, and then we'll talk about these other items down here.